Good evening, students. And first of all, thank you to all because it takes a lot of hard work to make a video. And I was just seeing the number of views in terms whether all the students have viewed it not. So the number of views have already crossed the number of students present. So I should think that most of the students have watched the video. Now going to the topic. Last time I talked about SI units. I also talked about why there is a need of SI unit. So, again, I will not first start the topic, I will talk about reference point. Although in the book the reference point is just a one-line definition, but reference point should always be discussed in detail because that will help you to understand the topics which will come in your chapter 1. So, first point is reference point. What is reference point? Most of my definition will be linked with the example. So, please try to listen the example carefully. Someone said, Sir, I am in Islampur, which is 30 kilometer away. तुमको किसी ने कहा कि तुम 30 किलोमीटर दूर हो, इस्लामपुर में हो. Is the answer given by someone is correct? 30 किलोमीटर आप इस्लामपुर में हैं. Does it mean that you are away 30 kilometers away from Kishanganj or you are 30 kilometers away from Siliguri? Then he says, no, I am 30 kilometers away from Kishanganj. That means, and I am in Islampur. That means Kishanganj is taken as a reference point. अब इसको definition में define करते हैं कि sir, why reference? What is reference point? Any point whose location is known is called as reference point, and all the distance are measured with the help of reference point. Chalo. This is Kishanganj, which is taken as what? Your origin or your reference point. You are 30 kilometers away and you are here, this is Islampur. That means Kishanganj is taken as reference point or origin and the distance is calculated from Kishanganj. Now I think it will be clear. So in terms of definition, again any point whose location is known to us is called as reference point, and in physics all the distances are measured in terms of reference point. Now, reference point could be taken in two views. First is your Cartesian axis, in terms of your Cartesian axis. In class 8, what is Cartesian axis? In class 8, your maths teacher, that was when I was your maths teacher, I had taught you in terms of x-axis and in terms of y-axis. And wherever the two Cartesian axes meet, that is said to be origin. Clear? और अगर तुमको ध्यान होगा कि if there is a point P, that means its location could be traced in terms of x and y. Please listen carefully. So, in maths, the Cartesian axis where it meets is called as origin, and any point could be located in terms of x, y, minus x, plus y. This is your minus x, minus y, and this is your x into minus y. So, anything which is on your right hand side is taken as positive on the x-axis, which is on your left hand side is taken as negative. Anything which is on the upward side of y-axis, upward to the origin is taken as positive, and this is taken as negative. ये तो आपका कार्टेशियन एक्सिस हुआ जो आपने क्लास 8 में पढ़ा होगा. In physics, sometimes second is your in terms of geographical location. when we come to reality in life, we will not talk about, sir, 5,3 x by axis. We talk about, let's say, this is taken as origin, this is taken as east, west, north, and this is taken as south. इसमें इधर पॉजिटिव है इधर नेगेटिव है, लेकिन यहां पर क्या बोलेंगे? Let's assume that a point A is there. Yes, somebody is located here. So what you will say, and it is 5 meter from the reference point, that is origin. What you will say, and let's think that this is 45 degree. So you will say point A is located at 5 meter away at 45 of northeast direction. Yeah, at 45 northeast direction. So this is how the reference point is talked about. Please listen carefully. एग्जाम पर्पज से प्लीज मत पढ़िए, पहले समझने के पर्पज से पढ़िए कि रेफरेंस पॉइंट क्या है. कोई पॉइंट जिसका लोकेशन मुझे पता है और जिसको मैं एज ए स्टैंडर्ड यूज करूंगा टू मेजर ऑल द डिस्टेंसेस इज सिंपली कॉल्ड एज रेफरेंस पॉइंट. नाउ फ्रॉम द रेफरेंस, आफ्टर द रेफरेंस पॉइंट, please geographical location east, west, north, south. Please jot it down. Now the next topic that I will cover is what is motion and what is rest. Motion and rest are two relative terms always seen in terms of the perspective of the observer. पर पहले we will go to the definition. Any body which changes its location या which changes its position from the certain reference point is called that the body is said to be at motion. फिर से बोल रहा हूँ, कोई भी body if it changes its position with respect to the reference point, then the body is said to be at motion. Let's say a body was at A and after some time it changes its position to B with respect to origin, then the body is said to be at motion. However, if the body does not changes its position with respect to observer, with respect to your reference point, its position remains there only. Let's say the body is A is at point A, the body is at point A and it does not changes its position with respect to the reference point, it remains there only, then the body is said to be at rest. However, again I am telling you, the body which is at rest could be at motion with respect to the observer, or the body which is at motion could be at rest with respect to the observer. So both of them are relative terms. Let me take one example. A football is lying on the earth, it is not moving. So if I am on the earth itself, I am standing on the earth, so I will see that the football is just lying. Correct? That means it is at rest. However, if I go to above the earth, I might see that the earth is moving, and similarly I will also see the football revolving around, moving along with the earth. So at that moment of time, the body or the football is at motion. That's why I always say, I always use that both of them are relative terms. Please note it down. Now I will cover what do you mean by scalar quantity and what do you mean by vector quantity. Now the last topic, that is your what do you mean by scalar quantity and what do you mean by vector quantity. Again, let me take one example. I say, Ritesh, you please go to the market which is 3 kilometers away, correct, from my home. अभी मैंने रेफरेंस पॉइंट भी बोला, मेरा घर है और मार्केट कितना किलोमीटर है, 3 किलोमीटर। नाउ इन टर्म्स ऑफ ज्योग्राफिकल एक्सिस, लेट दिस इज माय होम, he might go 3 kilometer here, 3 kilometer here, 3 kilometer here. He can go anywhere, and at the end of the day there is a probability that he might not get the market. But let's say if I say, Ritesh, you go to a market which is 3 kilometer away towards east, means east, west, north, south. That means from my home, if he goes straight towards the north, which is 3 kilometer, that will simply say he will reach to the market. तो similarly बोला सर फर्क क्या है दोनों में what is the difference? No, in case one I talked about scalar quantity 3 kilometer, and in the next I said 3 kilometer towards what? Let's say north. Now, what's the basic difference in between? What's the basic difference in between? The first point is here, I am not talking about the direction. I am not talking about the what? Direction. Here I am talking about the direction. Clear? So, scalar quantity, those quantities which have only magnitude, जैसे 3 kilometer in terms of distance, and no direction, then it is called as scalar quantity. Means example is your distance, your speed. I am going at a speed of, I am driving my car at a speed of 40 kilometer per hour. अभी किधर जा रहे हैं कुछ नहीं बताया. Means those quantities which have only magnitude but no direction is called as scalar quantity. However, what is vector quantity? Those quantities which have direction as well, which have magnitude as well as direction is called as vector quantity. For example, displacement, your velocity. I am driving the car at 45 kilometer per hour towards east. Means I have also mentioned the direction. Here it is a vector quantity. आपको सिर्फ डेफिनेशन करना है, फिर भी मैं डिटेल्स में बोल रहा हूँ. Anything which any quantity which has only magnitude but no direction, it does not talk about direction, it is called scalar quantity. However, any quantity which has magnitude as well as it talk about the direction also is called a vector quantity. Scalar quantity could be simply added or subtracted if they have similar unit. Means let's say first you travel 3 kilometer and then you travel 2 kilometer, means only what you are taking distance, the distance total traveled is 5 kilometer. That means scalar quantity obeys simple law of arithmetic. However, in case of vector quantity, if both have similar units but if the direction is varying, it will not obey simple law of arithmetic. Please note it down. That I will talk in detail when I will talk about distance and displacement. Third point, vector quantities can be represented by either bold letter or like this way, or you can also write like this way. समझ में आ रहा है? अगर for example if you write v only, this represents speed, but if you write this way, then it represents your velocity. Clear? So three things that you will follow in terms of scalar quantity and vector quantity. First, one has magnitude. Vector quantity has magnitude as well as direction. Second, in case of scalar quantity, it follows law of arithmetic. In vector quantity, depending upon the circumstances, it might follow law of simple law of your arithmetic, but it might not obey laws of arithmetic. Point number 2. And third, whenever you will, in terms of example, you will write if it comes in exam, like you will write distance, speed is example of scalar quantity, vector, displacement, velocity is example of vector quantity. And समझाने के लिए चौथा पॉइंट आप ये लिख सकते हैं, I am riding at a speed of 30 km per hour is an example of scalar quantity, but I am driving the car at a speed of 30 km towards west is an example of vector quantity. That's all for today. Enjoy your time. Good night.